The first Friday of the month, and that means it's time for Eye on Terre Haute. This is where we sit down with Terre Haute Mayor Duke Bennett and discuss what's going on in the city. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Great to be here.
Now let's talk a little bit about the budget. You've kind of unveiled that there's going to be some big cuts with this budget. I think it was $1 million was cut from the budget for the 2011 budget. Tell us a little bit about what was taken out of that budget.
Yeah, it's another million. You know, we've been cutting.
Right.
Coming into this year, we cut about $2 million out of this year's budget. Well, then next year, about another million in cuts, just due to the property tax caps. Next year's the full implementation. So from this point on, our revenues will be pretty consistent. So we have to build that budget to support, the expenses have to be comparable to those revenues. So, we've been making all kinds of different cuts throughout the last couple of years. And as we've talked many times, the biggest expense we have is salary and benefits. So towards the end of the process, you get to that. We've had some attrition. We're going to be doing some early buyouts. We'll probably do that next year. And kind of dealing with things that way. We've had a few layoffs in the Parks Department we had to do, and especially our part-time people, the summer people, we let go a little bit early. We've just got to stay and live within our means, and that's what's hard with this amount of loss of dollars. Almost 23% of our budget gone forever in the general fund, which funds most of the operations of the city. And so now kind of where we're at is we've submitted the budget to the council, and they'll start to debate on that here in the next, has to be approved by the end of October.
Okay.
So in September and October, you kind of go through the budget, and then we send it off to the state once the council gets done with its part of it. And then we'll see what they come back with. We think it's pretty close to being fundable, which means there's enough revenues to cover those expenses. But we won't know that for sure until next spring when they put their stamp of approval on it or say you need to make additional cuts. So we need to be prepared for that. And so, we continue to work through this and get ourselves in a position to keep the, as many people as we can, as many services in place. But each time we do this, each step we take gets a little bit tougher. And so we'll just see what the outcome is. I mean, I'm optimistic right now, but I'm sure there will still be a few more cuts we're going to have to make.
And also, let's talk about kind of shifting gears with this. Terre Haute has won an amazing award.
It really is a great award. To be recognized by the state chambers to have the Community of the Year means a lot. Some people may say, well, okay, how do we leverage that, or what do we do with that next? Because now that we've won this award because of what we've done, that's just kind of the first step, I think. It's just the fact that we've been recognized by our peers that there's things happening in Terre Haute. And if you look back, and I mentioned this when I talked about it when the announcement happened, about 10 or 15 years ago, I really started to see a change just as a citizen of the community, of course not being an elected official at all, but where people were like, kind of tired of what was going on from the past and getting involved with things about how do we make this a better community. Well, then, that led to some other things, and then that led to some additional things, and then over the last probably 5 or 6 years, you've seen a lot of people making investments in this community because they feel like there's a payback to that. They know that if they put something on the table that we're all going to benefit from it. And I think it's the tip of the iceberg. I really do. That once we get through this recession, of course that has a big bearing on things, we're still able to do these things, but I think you're going to see even bigger and better things because of all the things that we've added to the mix now, with the hotels and the Children's Museum and the Barnes & Noble bookstore and with what ISU's doing, and just all the positive things lead to more positive things. So we hope to leverage this, get the word out across the state, distinguish ourselves from our peers out there that this is the place, a great place to do business, great place to move, raise your family, and you can be successful in Terre Haute and enjoy all the amenities and things we have to offer.
So we can definitely use this as a selling point to hopefully bring in these big businesses in the future.
Yes, absolutely. It makes us more competitive within the state for sure, but then on the outside, because we can tell people that, Community of the Year, at least it makes them take a second look. They look like, well, there must be something special going on in Terre Haute.
Well, I think there is. Thank you very much, Mayor. We appreciate it. And if you'd like to see this segment again, or you have a segment, an idea of your own, just go to our website at WTHI-TV.com and click on the community page.